It is the morning of November 15th here in Tokyo, the night of November 14th back in the States, and Bitcoin is very close to filling this $92,000 gap that we were really hoping was going to be one of those gaps when we were up here, was going to be one of those gaps that was going to never get filled for Bitcoin. There's another one down at about $20,000. We don't think that one's ever going to get filled. Not all gaps have to, but they tend to well over 97% of the time on Bitcoin chart. I think it's actually 98% of the time. Anyway, very, very high, right? So do not expect a rally for Bitcoin. And I'm talking like a short-term rally, like a little tiny bump, until we fill this gap on the futures chart here, sitting at $92,000 for Bitcoin. Currently, the futures chart is at 94.3 thousand. And if we come over here to the spot chart, we can see that price is a little bit higher up than where it was on the futures chart because the futures market is closed on the weekends. And we can see that we are finding support here on our Fibonacci retracement tool right at, well, what is basically $94,000. Now, the daily chart stochastic RSI is in oversold territory, but it's not in entirely oversold territory. So again, I'm not expecting a bounce here to be really meaningful in any way. Maybe we go up to like $96,000, but otherwise I am expecting us to roll over and fill that gap at 92,000. And if you saw my video prior, you know, we got the bearish setup. The higher low was not set after our test at 108K. The higher low failed. We are now well on our way into the middle of 80K range, 85 to 80,000. Which is where that next major line of support is on our Fibonacci retracement tool. Also lines up nicely with this major consolidation area as well. That is the next major area of support. We could get a little bit of bounce here, but again, that gap, we're going to go down and fill that gap right now. But the more important thing is what we've been talking about on the CoinGlass Bitcoin liquidity heat map. And I know I've been repeating myself for the number of weeks now because this picture hasn't really changed here, but it's really important to note and remember that the financial incentive in the market by folks like Binance and market makers, is to drive the market lower and liquidate these several billions of dollars worth of positions here so that they can make the most amount of money, right? The house always wins, and the house wants to drive the price, of Bitcoin to roughly $80,000. And then there's no more liquidity to squeeze. The markets will no longer be financially incentivized to drive the market lower past $80,000. And I bet you see price go down in a long wick and then get bought up pretty much immediately as the market then starts to set a bottom and begins to position itself to head upwards and liquidate these positions, which would be new all-time highs, which I'm personally not expecting until, I don't know, February, March or something, sometime in 2026.